Greetings one and all, and welcome to the Mystic Mind Analysis. I am the Nightmare Rider, Major Mind, reminding you as was that even a cheeseburger can be deconstructed as original source. M.A. Larson has already provided us with a gem of character exploration this season with Slice of Life, so there's little doubt that if anyone can expand on more lesser known characters, he can. Twilight has come a long way since season 1, so she is understandably anxious about tying up loose ends from her cancel-up days in order to prove how much she has learned. Part of this feels like she is treating repairing lost friendships as a duty due to her title of Princess of Friendship, being so integral to her identity now. A character trait that has remained consistent throughout these seasons is her paranoia over potential social failures. While she has more grounding for these fears this time around, given how she can't remember many of the details about her friends, Minuet thankfully still understands Twilight's introversion enough to make rebuilding the friendship easy. This shows her own character depth and understanding in Twilight's point of view, given her prior discomfort with extroverted friendship, while also being honest that there was some hurt over her actions. Minuet and co seem to have the philosophy of live and let live, allowing others to express the friendship in a way it suits them, if at all. They don't see much reason to pursue Moondancer as she hides herself away, so she doesn't have much of a desire to really connect with the outside world. But at the same time, they are still open to giving friendship another try if that is what Moondancer wants. There are some implications that Minuet and her friends want to avoid conflict, given how they squirm at the hint that a friendship isn't really working out. This shows how sometimes being too kind can be a detriment as well as an asset, as we have seen in episodes like It Ain't Easy Being Breezy's, although in a different fashion. Part of the reason that Twilight actively tries to repair the rift between her and Moondancer is that she sees a lot of her past self reflected. They really were practically twins back during their school days, sharing details of their learning experiences and actively taking an interest in the same subjects. In spite of Moondancer's bitterness, there still remains a spark of an old friendship which shows some of the chemistry remains intact. The two easily get into a discussion over books they love, although unfortunately this reminds Moondancer as to why her friendship ended to begin with. Given how much they have in common, Moondancer felt that she could relate to Twilight more than she could do with any other pony, making her only birthday party to be a very critical moment where she would come out of her shell. Yet the two never quite fully realise how they both have the same reactions to anxious situations, so when Twilight seemingly abandoning her, Moondancer took this to mean that she could never have a proper friendship. Canterlot seems to be a place where ponies occupy small niche social groups, with Moondancer and Twilight being a different niche to Minuet and her friends, so while they are still enjoying each other's company, there is a limit to how much they can really relate in conversation. This is why it's so beautiful to see Twilight and Pinkie introduce ponies who fit within Moondancer's niche, giving her ponies who she can relate to on the subject of books and intellectual matters, while still enjoying her everyday social life with her other friends in a different niche. While much of this moral does work, the way it is led up to does come across as a bit iffy to me. A big part left out is how Moondancer is negatively affected by her isolation. We get a small glimpse at the state of her house, and she is definitely holding a grudge over her rejection. However, Moondancer appears to be perfectly content with remaining on her own, so the fact that Twilight keeps insisting that she becomes friends again comes off as uncomfortably close to an unhealthy obsession. Twilight just keeps following Moondancer around, not taking no for an answer and continuously insisting that they be friends again, or at least try to talk something out. This is tempered by Twilight's reasoning, being her guilt over how she was a bad friend in the past, wanting to make up for the pain of her past errors caused. So this doesn't come off as Trenzahoop levels of creepy behaviour. However, it still does seem a bit much, since Twilight feels she needs to bribe and coerce Moondancer into being her friend again, making it appear to be more for Twilight's benefit that the friendship is restored. This wouldn't be a hard problem to solve. All that is needed is to spend a little less time with Twilight playing cat and mouse with Moondancer, and a little more time earlier in the episode to show how Moondancer is worse off because of her rejection of friendship. Her bitterness could leave her to be very on the edge and aggressive towards other ponies, similar to how Fluttershy became in putting your hoof down, although not quite to the same extent. We could also see how her physical environment changed changes based on how much time she spends alone. We already have hints about organisation being a big part of Moondancer's day-to-day life, so showing her develop a level of OCD as a method of avoidance would have been a big plus. But as it stands, there really isn't very much that says why Moondancer being alone is a detriment other than her lingering sadness. However, this criticism is still relatively minor when compared to how much the moral shines. Twilight is making the best of a bad situation, recognising how her past mistakes has hurt someone she cares about. Everything she does during this episode is to show that she recognises the flaws in her past actions, seeing the emotional turmoil that Moondancer felt when she was at the cusp of feeling like she was worthy of making a friend. No friendship is ever going to be perfect. There will always be mistakes, and sometimes we will hurt someone close to us even if we don't intend to do so. If we accept these errors and show how we are willing to do what is necessary to improve, then we can slowly rebuild the trust that was once broken. It's not just Twilight who shows this. Spike's brutal honesty may have initially hurt Twilight, but he still sticks with her and works to help Moondancer feel happy again. Spike's present represented an imperfect friendship, but it is one that works, showing how this friendship could work once more. Overall, M.A. Larson is an absolute top form with Amending Fences. It presents a relatable situation that works perfectly with Twilight's development as a princess, giving her a perfect balance between her paranoia and commitment to making the friendship work, recognising everything that she has done wrong to better with a second chance. While more of Moondancer's life would have been useful to see to better frame Twilight's actions, the fact that Twilight and her friends still treat Moondancer as one of their own makes this episode exceptionally heartwarming and a serious contender for my favourite episode of the season. I give Amending Fences a final grade of an A+. Until the next time, this is Nightmare Rider, Major Mind, riding out.